My name's Troy Korn. I was on the Bushmen crew, Wenatchee Original Hotshot crew in 1967, 1968, and I filled in 1969. I might as well have been on the crew. I think I went on every assignment because somebody was missing. I worked for the Forest Service for 33 years. I retired from this Ranger District, as Entiat Ranger District, as the District Fire Management Officer. In between starting on the Wenatchee crew and being an FMO, I did fuels, prevention. I served numerous positions on Type 1 and Type 2 incident management teams. And that's about it.
My name is Dave Spies. My nickname through the 9 years that I was on the crew was Preacher. In fact, I think most people in the Forest Service didn't know me by any other name except Preacher, because that's what they heard over the radio all the time. But I was on the original shot crew in '66, and at that time it wasn't called shot, so they were called interregional crews. And I was there till '74, and one of those years I was a superintendent or foreman, and I was assistant before that, and squad leader, and sawyer. And then I left and went into full-time teaching.
Okay, I'm John Barnes. I started on the crew officially in 1973 through 1977, and filled in 1972 often in the absence of crew members. My mid-career, after 10 years or 15 years in the Forest Service, I resigned and went logging, so I got to see the fire from a dozer contractor standpoint, and then I was reinstated in the Forest Service and fuels here on the Entiat and retired in 2008.
I'm Randy McLandress, and I was on the crew in '73 and '74, started here on the district in the fall of '72 on some just BD crews, but then on the Bushmen then in the '73-4, then moved into doing some hill attack work on the district, initial attack crew members, and then moved into recreation in the '79, and I just recently retired from the Entiat Ranger District 2 months ago after almost 42 seasons here, a little over 40 years. As the recreation staff officer here on the district.
Hi, I'm Louie Hoglund. I worked on the crew in 1966 and '67. The first year, '66 was first year, was 25-man crew, right? And after that, I got drafted into the service, spent a couple years there, and then went to work in the logging industry after that. That's about it.
My name's Chuck Wolf, and I was the second foreman for the crew that was organized here on the district. First one was called the Seven Dwarfs. It was a crew of 8, and then that was led by Doug Bowie. And then I took over and we moved to 15, an inter-regional crew. And then in '66 we went to 25-man crew, which was a formation of hotshots. And then 3 years later it was reduced back to 20 because of the main transportation between fires was DC-3s, and those things were a flying rag as far as I was concerned. But anyway, I went from there. I went to FMO on the Cle Elum Ranger District, then came back here in 1975, and then the rest of my career I was the FMO on the Entiat. Served from then to '90, and I retired then. So I've put 37 years in to fire, And I'm proud to say I was one of the pioneers in prescribed fire. And I think they starting to get the message. Thank you.
I'm Rusty Thompson. I was on the crew from 72 through 74. I started out in 68 working on the trails to Ellensburg, and then as a fire guard there, and then I came up here in 72, and then in 75 I moved over to trails, back to trails, and worked in trails and wilderness for my rest of my career. But I did quite a bit of support work, and I was quite involved with wilderness fires and stuff like that through my career. And I worked for 43 years, seasons basically, and I retired a couple years ago.
I'm Chuck Stanton. I started my career in 1975, alias Charlie. A lot of people call me Charlie. And I worked on Helitac 2 years and then went to an IA crew. But in the 70s, I filled in quite a bit with the Bushmen. And then in 83, I detailed for the crew after running my own crews for about 10 years. And that was the year that it went from the Bushmen to the Entiat Hotshots group too. So anyway, and then I retired 2009 and 5 years ago, and I'm still doing fire safety officer.
My name's R.J. Hayes. I was on the Bushmen in 66, 67, 68. Spent 36 years in fire between the Forest Service, BOM, and the state of Alaska. 36 years, 45 seasons, and retired in November of 2007.